Hey everybody, it's your, I guess, a little bit blurry friend Fred right here. I don't know, it's a nice Thursday afternoon. I just got a sucker. And we're going to talk a little bit about rhetorical analysis. And you're like, hey dude, we've been talking about that in class. I don't need to hear that. Well, yeah, we've rhetorically analyzed commercials. And today you rhetorically analyzed a speech by President Franklin D. Roosevelt. But what about something that maybe we encounter even more than speeches or even commercials, and that's our good friend, the website. As we get ready for our rhetorical analysis project, which will deal with websites, let's take a look at a website and look at how it works rhetorically. So I'm just going to go ahead and share the screen. Come on, there we go. And here we go. So this right here, sorry, I have an eye itch. This is the website for Mothers Against Drunk Driving. And I chose this particular site mainly because MAD has a purpose. They are trying to stop or reduce or end drinking and drug driving. So they have a purpose, which means if they have a purpose, then they're going to be using the rhetoric of this website in order to accomplish that purpose. So obviously we're looking at all of the things we look at. We're looking at our space cat. So we're looking at the speaker and the purpose and the audience and the context and the exigence and the choices they make and the appeals they use and the tone. You say, of a website? Yeah, look at this picture. Look at this face right here. You see that concerned face. Notice it's a concerned woman. What's this word right here? Mothers. So this is a concerned woman. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Just pretend that didn't happen. I hit the wrong thing. I'm going to go back. Sorry. Are we still cool? Sorry about that. That's a concerned person. That's a concerned woman. That's a concerned mother. Oh, they have several banners. They have the COVID thing. But let's look at how it works. Now, we look at all those things, but we also look at what they call in the business of design. We're going to look at CRAP. CRAP. We're going to talk about this tomorrow on Friday. But CRAP stands for contrast, repetition, alignment, and proximity. And that's the visual aspects of design that we have to deal with. So I'm not going to hit every single thing here, but I'm going to show you a few things that we might talk about if we're talking about this ad. So first of all, let's talk about some color issues. Notice the white. Notice the red. Notice the white. Notice the red. Notice the red on white, the white on red. See these things? See that? See how it changes the color to highlight it? These are just good design features because they're trying to make these things stand out to you. And that's C. That's contrast. That's looking at how the colors work to make sure you can see the learn more and the donate now that you need to. Make sure you see this, that the human toll stands out so that it pops on the page, okay? That's contrast. Repetition. Notice how many times in this page they say the words stop or end drunk driving, okay? It's all over the place. There's their title. Mothers Against Drunk Driving to end drunk driving, to fight drug driving. Drunk driving is still the #1 cause of death. Drunk and drug driving. The repetition of those words help put drunk driving in the rearview mirror. Okay? All of this repetition of drunk driving helps. That's repetition. That's how that works. And we have more that we can say. Alignment. Now, this is interesting. This is a useful thing to think about in websites. Remember, we read top to bottom, left to right is how we read, which means one of the most visually arresting areas on any web page. There are two really big ones. I'll move my little thing over here. There's the upper right or upper left-hand corner where I start. That's MAD, no more victims. That's their slogan. And then the other one is the upper right. And notice what's here. No, I'm not trying to critique Mothers Against Drunk Driving. They're a nonprofit. They have to raise money. But you'll notice in the upper right-hand corner, it says donate now, because your eye will naturally move from the left. We'll go to the top of the page. We'll go from the left, then to the right, and then it'll start moving down, going left to right, and it'll move in this vertical left to right fashion. So this is going to draw your eye right to it. Also notice the contrast. It's white on red, 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 or I'm sorry, red on white. All the way across here, it's red on white. And then over here, it's white on red. That color contrast change and its upper right-hand corner position immediately draws your eye. If you looked away from this site and looked back to it, one of the first things that you would see is the donate now. Now, obviously, rhetorically, we know why. They need to raise money. So they need to draw your eye to that place. And one of the main things of design is to put what you need in prominent contrasting position. And then, of course, you look at proximity. You look what is next to each other. So you look at the fact that donate now is by the contact us, is by the information about them. That the constantly changing like main panel here is next to the donate now. You'll notice that the threat, the statistics are next to the human toll, and what comes next after this victim story, right? Learn more and donate now. Notice how they're next to each other. So they're repeating the donate now. It's here. It's also here. Notice what it's next to. Notice here it says the solution, and then here it says donate now. So you can see that they're drawing a connection between those two things. Notice the contrast between the black and white driving and the red letters. Now you may say to yourself, why red, Fred? Why is there so much red in this ad? And the reason to me is not because red is, or not just because red is a visually arresting color, but red is a color that signifies danger or emergency. Red also is the color of the stop sign and the stoplight. So we want to stop this thing. It's also, notice I used two traffic things it's associated with. This is a traffic related issue. So red does all these things: emergency, stop, danger. I also, and I don't want to be too rough here, but red is also the color of blood. And there is always that reminder that what they're trying to stop, what they're against and fighting against drinking and drug driving, is injury and death. And so there's that kind of reminder of the fact that there is a cost to this. And red helps do that. And it's not a cute red. It's not a soft red. It's not a pretty red. It is a red red. And that is really kind of drawing your attention and making it feel a little bit serious. You'll notice that this site is not fun. It's not jokey. It's very, very serious. Okay. And you can see these other things that they do. They have your how you help. Notice this button right here. Where do you think Save a Life goes to? Where do you think it goes to? That's right. It goes to a donate now place. Because they want to, just by changing the title of that button to a donation, to Save a Life from Donate Now, they repeat the idea, but they also indicate that what donating does, what your money does here. Your contribution helps save a life, support MAD. So save a life. Okay, and notice now another thing that you can notice in websites, we talk about who's the speaker. So obviously MAD, this organization, is the speaker, but look at these phrases like walk with us, right? This is your audience. These are adults. These are mothers. These are parents. We have the MAD family, right? And it's punning, of course, on the fact that they're mad, they're angry, but also the fact that they're like crazy enough to fight this battle. Okay? That's what they're doing. So their audience has got to be obviously mothers, but then also like, do you not love children? Do you not love people? Isn't this your fight too? Okay, but they're definitely not talking to kids. They're definitely talking to adults, probably with families, right? Purposes, obviously, they say this. You know, what do they say down here? Help us put drunk driving in the rearview mirror, right? Let's get rid of it, okay? Context. The context is, of course, drunk driving is a problem. Now, the exigence of the site, I mean, it's because this is the best way to reach people. MAD did not always have a website. When MAD started, it was literally commercials on TV, people having fundraising marches, and literature, pamphlets, posters, phone call campaigns. But the exigence of the ad is that this is how you get to people now, is you put it here and it gets to people. Okay? But the context is obviously we live in a world where this is a major cause of suffering for a lot of people. It's a big problem. Now, choices. Look at all of the ways they make you understand that this is not something that doesn't affect people. Look at the language. Instance, people killed. Injuries per year, the human toll. Look at those pictures. What do you think those are pictures of? Yeah, they're pictures of people that have been impacted, killed by drunk driving. Look at this phrase right here. Voices of victims, right? A victim. No more victims is the slogan, right? Because they're trying to end this victimization, because if you die of this, you're a victim of somebody else's choice. That's the whole premise behind their campaign against drunk driving, is somebody's choosing to get behind the wheel of the car when they're intoxicated. And when they do that, they put people at risk. And those people that are killed are victims. They didn't do anything. They were in the car. Okay? Those are choices. This idea of putting it in the rear view mirror, like, let's get past this, that it can be defeated. That's a powerful choice. How can you make a life-saving difference, right? What can you do? Because the thing is that what can we do to make this go away? What can we do to get people off the road? So lots of good choices. Putting putting the facts, putting these choices, and then putting down at the very, very bottom this idea of saving the life. And then, of course, all the links and access and ways to sign up and be in the know and get connected, all that stuff like that. Those are important choices. The choice is to say who works with them. Okay. Now, when you get to appeals, you can look and you can roll through and you can just see appeals. Okay. Now, you won't often see ethos directly established here unless you start to look down here, right? Here's some ethos being created. Here's what you can do. If you give this money, these are the things that can happen. But there's not a lot of ethos down here, not a lot of credibility. You would have to go here. If you went to About Mad, you could get their credibility. Their credibility is largely done here. See this section, Mad's partners, all these companies? Because look at how they go. All of these companies that work with Mad. That gives them a little bit of credibility. That's where ethos is being created. For direct credibility on a website, it's usually in this About Us story. Okay? Obviously, that's credibility, are these partners that are listed down here at the bottom. I mean, you can see them scrolling by GM and Uber and Waymo, and all of the, and State Farm and Nationwide, and Google, right? So all of these companies that support them, NFL, that gives them a lot of credibility. This is one of the few places that you will see direct logos right here, the direct creation of logos. This is the threat. These are the facts about what's going on. 300,000 a day, 10,511 people killed by drunk or drug drivers in 2018, 300,000 injuries per year. So those are the facts. That's how prominent it is. That it says there under people killed, 29 a day. Okay, those are your facts. And then the rest of it is developing a strong, pathetic appeal. Join the fight. See these people smiling because they're part of it. They're working together. They're people that care. Do you care? Do you care? Stay informed. Sign up now. Be a part of this. Get involved in this mission. Get involved in this mission to do this. This is the human toll, right? This is the thing. And these pictures, you want to talk about pathos? These pictures, looking at that collage of images, those people that have died because of this, see their faces. Here's a name. Here's a victim. Here's a person that suffered because of this. Here's a person that's gone through this. Here's the voice of a victim. That is a personal connection. So let's not just see a picture. Let's not just get a number. Let's get a name. Her name is Erin Rollins, and she suffered from this. Do you think she's the only one? There's Rachel Colleen Foster. Okay, she's another victim. So there's powerful pathos being created by giving a name to a victim. So you can see all of these choices, how they use these appeals here. They're trying to say, you know, that we can give you the logos, we can give you the statistics, but let's talk about the people behind the statistics. That's using logos and pathos together, creating logos and pathos in order to really make a strong case that you should donate now, that you should be a part of this, that you can do this. Because if you look at what they said here, there's 10,000 people killed in 2018. Each and every one of them 100% preventable. So the idea, the real kind of purpose here is not just to get you involved, but their purpose is to get you involved in a struggle that we, according to them, can win, right? This is something that we can do. These people are dying. They don't have to. So I know that was a little bit maybe all over the place. Maybe it was. But I wanted to kind of do this. I mean, also, I'm sorry. This is absolute pathetic appeal. Because she's on the phone, because she's trying to figure out what to do, because she's, something's going on. A drunk driver has impacted her life, okay? I know this has probably been a little bit crazy, but I need you to see that these websites, when they have a purpose, and all websites have a purpose, but especially when they're behind a cause, that there is a strong rhetorical basis for their design. And we need to look at all of it because it's all there, again, just like everything in a commercial, everything in a speech, everything in an argumentative essay, it's all there by design. Somebody put it there in that place, in that color, in that font on purpose. And we need to talk about why it's there. See them? They're happy because they're fighting in this struggle, and they feel good because they're making progress. So there's that. I know that was a little crazy. I didn't want to do it real rehearsed because you kind of need to know that you can just go in and see what's there. And I'm going to give you, you know, you have Space Cat. I'm going to give you the crap parameters tomorrow and stuff, and you can see all them, but it's important to know that you've got to just start looking at these things and trying to figure out how they do what they do. They're all doing something, and they're all trying to accomplish a purpose using all of the available means of persuasion. That's what Aristotle said rhetoric was, is it using all of the available means of persuasion. So it's not just the words on the page. It's the arrangement of those words. It's the color of those words. It's the position of those words. It's what's next to what else. All those things matter. And so I hope this kind of gave you a little bit of a introductory insight into how website analysis works. And we'll see. Anyway, we'll talk more about it tomorrow in class. And if you have any questions, be sure to let me or Miss White know. And we're glad to be part of your journey through rhetoric. And anyway, have a good evening. And we'll see you soon in Rhetoric Party Zone.